Years ago, I took $5 million to spend 2 years as a caretaker for the blind heiress of the Liu family. I fed her street food and told her it was Michelin 3-star. And when she got on my nerves, I read her pig breeding manuals until she fell asleep. The day she got her sight back, I grabbed my money and disappeared, left without so much as a goodbye 3 years later. She was worth billions and had gone absolutely crazy, searching the whole world for her so-called gentle, devoted fiancé. Now I was watching some guy on stage pretending to be me, going on about how he had never let her suffer a single day. I was shrunk in the back corner staring at the half-eaten scallion pancake in my hand. Deep in thought, something about this whole situation felt seriously off. The word is that during the 2 years Ms. Liu was blind, young Master Zhao never left her side. A devotion so moving it would bring tears to heaven itself under the spotlight. The MC dabbed at her eyes dramatically while the audience erupted in applause. More than a few of the more emotional young women in the crowd were already crying their eyes out. I was sitting on a folding stool in the back corner, clutching the rest of my chive pastry and barely holding back a snort. Never left her side. I couldn't help glancing up at the stage at this young Master Zhao. Zhao Tai in his tailored suit drowning in his own performance. 3 years ago, Liu Qiyue, the eldest daughter of the Liu family, went blind in a car accident and got cut off by her family. Someone posted a job on the dark web offering $5 million to look after her for 2 years. The only requirement was keep her alive and make sure she didn't do anything stupid. I Ming Tuan, a professional 9-to-5er with 20 years of surviving on my own, took the job without hesitation. I did technically never change my clothes because I was too lazy to bother. And I was technically by her side day and night because I was scared she'd starve in the middle of the night. And I wouldn't get my final payment as for what Zhao Tai called tender loving care. Zhao Tai was up on stage gripping the mic. His eyes glistening back then, Qiyue had no appetite. So every single day I cooked her bird's nest porridge from scratch and hand-fed her spoonful by spoonful. I nearly choked on my drink and came within an inch of spraying it all over the woman sitting in front of me. Bird's nest porridge, give me a break. Back then, Liu Qiyue was impossibly picky. Wouldn't eat this, wouldn't eat that, so to save myself the headache. And to cure her princess syndrome once and for all, I walked down to the corner store, bought her a bag of Weilong spicy strips that cost about $10 and told her, these are imported French high molecular spicy protein strips designed to stimulate the taste buds and restore your appetite. The young miss believed every word. Ate them like they were the best thing she had ever tasted, licking her fingers and praising me the whole time. Ah, Chuan, you're so good to me. These must have cost a fortune, right? I held back tears, pocketing the $2 price difference and nodded. Oh, absolutely, and you really need to wash them down with a vintage Sprite for the full effect. And now you're telling me that was bird's nest porridge, Zhao Tai. Oh, Zhao Tai, you really have no fear of getting caught lying through your teeth. Meng Tuan, what do you think you're doing? An icy voice came from right above my head. Carrying that particular tone of someone thoroughly disappointed in me, I flinched. Quickly stuffed the rest of the chive pastry up my sleeve and looked up with my best professional customer service smile. Su Bian, I was just fully immersing myself in young Master Zhao's heartfelt love story. The woman standing in front of me was my direct boss, Su Qingsu, the legendary ice queen of Shanghai media. She was wearing a fitted black blazer and pencil skirt today, the skirt hugging every curve perfectly. Her legs in sheer black stockings impossibly long and straight. 4-inch heels on her feet, presents that could fill a stadium. Su Xingshui adjusted her gold-rimmed glasses and looked at my greasy chin with undisguised disdain. I sent you here to take interview notes, not to have a picnic. Do you have any idea how important this Liu Group exclusive is for us? She was scolding me, but there wasn't much real fury behind those beautiful eyes. More resignation than anything. You're absolutely right, boss. On it. I pulled out my crumpled little notepad and made a big show of writing down 2 words, show off. Su Qingshui sighed, then suddenly leaned down close to my ear. That crisp, cool scent of her perfume shot straight up my nose and my brain skipped a beat. Meng Tuan, get your head in the game if you blow this. I'm transferring you to my office as my personal assistant so I can watch you work every single day. Wait, is that a punishment or a reward? The male colleagues nearby were shooting me looks of naked jealousy, practically begging to take my place. I was just about to fire back a joke. When the doors to the venue suddenly swung open, the noisy room went instantly silent. You could have heard a pin drop. A line of black-suited bodyguards filed in. Cutting through the crowd, then a tall, striking figure stepped through the door. Liu Qiyue, 3 years and not a trace of that girl who used to curl up in a cramped apartment, clinging to my arm, crying that she was hungry. She was completely transformed, wearing a tailored white suit, hair swept up to show off her long, graceful neck, that face still devastatingly beautiful. But those eyes that used to be cloudy and unfocused were now cold and sharp as a blade, radiating a keep-your-distance chill. The queen had arrived. Zhao Tai immediately rushed over, practically groveling as he reached out to take her hand. Qiyue, you made it. Liu Qiyue didn't even break stride. She didn't look at him once. Just stepped neatly to the side. Zhao Tai's hand hung in midair. The embarrassment was so thick you could build a house out of it. But the man had zero shame. He casually touched his nose and trotted along like a little puppy. Following right behind Liu Qiyue up onto the stage, I watched all of this from my seat below, shaking my head in quiet amazement. This little girl had really grown some claws since she got her vision back. Good thing I got out when I did, otherwise being her kept man would have been a rough life. Liu Qiyue took her seat and the room felt it. One cold sweep of her gaze across the audience, and every whisper in the room cut itself off. That right there is the power of money. The interview officially began. The reporters came in hot with sharp question after sharp question, mostly circling the Liu Group's future business strategy. Liu Qiyue fielded every single one without missing a beat, calm as still water. No trace whatsoever of the little girl who once cried her eyes out because she couldn't find the bathroom. Then one clueless entertainment reporter stood up. Ms. Liu, I hear you and young Master Zhao are close to tying the knot. Have you two gotten engaged? The energy in the room shifted immediately. Zhao Tai lunged for the microphone, a face full of blissful smiles. Actually, Qiyue and I have already made a private promise to each other back when things were at their hardest. We made a vow to each other. As he said this, he deliberately raised his arm, flashing the Patek Philippe on his wrist worth well over $1 million, as if that were relevant. To commemorate that time, Qiyue still wears the token I gave her back then to this day. Every eye in the room immediately locked onto Liu Qiyue's left hand, and yes, there was a ring there. But when the camera zoomed in and the close-up appeared on the big screen, the room erupted. It wasn't some enormous diamond, and it wasn't designed by any famous jeweler. It looked like it might have been a soda can tab. Or maybe a $2 plastic ring from a street vendor. The stone set into it wasn't even glass. It was a glow-in-the-dark plastic bead so worn down it had gone completely white. This woman was worth billions, and she was wearing a plastic ring. Young Master Joe really was that cheap back then. The whispers spread like wildfire. I was sitting there staring at that ring, and my brain just went blank. Wait, she still has it on. That was from a night when I had too much to drink. And to stop her from crying, I twisted a capsule toy out of one of those $2 vending machines by the road. What did I tell her at the time? Oh right, I fed her a whole story. I told her it was a tear of the deep forged from a meteorite that crashed to Earth, and if she wore it, no evil could ever come near her. And it had anti-aging properties too. She broke down sobbing from pure emotion, gave me a big bite on the shoulder and swore she would never take it off. Ma'am, you are literally one of the richest people on Earth, and you are wearing a $2 capsule toy ring. What are all your luxury brand sponsors supposed to think? Zhao Tai on stage clearly froze too. His prepared line was going to be, I sold my sports car to buy her that diamond ring. But the script had gone completely off the rails. He recovered fast, though, powered through it with a deeply sincere expression. Well, yes, this ring might not be worth much, but it represents every moment we weathered together. It's not about the price, it's about the love. Shut up. Liu Qiu, who had been completely silent, suddenly spoke. Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried clean and clear through the mic across the entire room. Cold enough to frost over, Zhao Tai's smile froze on his face. Qiuwei, what's wrong? Liu Qiuwei looked down and lightly brushed that cheap plastic ring with her fingertip. A rare flicker of warmth crossed her eyes, then vanished immediately into ice. She looked up, eyes cutting straight into Zhao Tai. Since you claim you gave me this ring, then tell me, why does the bead on it glow green at night? And why does it play the pleasant